Kicking things off today, right now, is a deep dive on NF. This cat has been around for a little while, apparently, because this first video is 10 years old. I had no idea. I have heard some of his music, but I've never, well, I can say never. Before I did the two videos here on the channel, I'd never really, dug in. So apparently, based on the two videos that I watched, his art has some real substance to it. So I want to dig in there. So this is kind of a 101 because we're really learning about him and his story and his art, but it's different from our usual 101 where the goal is to try to learn all of the nuances and nitty-gritties. This is more of a deep dive. You know, I want to kind of break down this supposed story. I don't know if it's a story, but yeah, apparently based on the comments, there's enough of a trajectory across these, I don't know if it's 12, 15 videos, that he's kind of telling his story, I think, and he has some really great symbolism. So I've seen so far. I'm dying to dig in. This is the first video. I actually don't know if this is NF's first video ever. I have no idea. It's 10 years old and it's called Intro. So I don't know if it's his debut video or if this is just the first video of this journey to hope, as some people seem to call it.
I'm looking like I'm gonna get it, you probably don't get it. I come in your house with a microphone looking like I'm about to set up a show in your kitchen. I'm out of my mind, but I feel like I'm in it. If I never make it, don't make any difference. I'm still gonna kill it. You know what the deal is, and there ain't no chillin' when I'm in the building. And F is a monster, I am a villain. My music is sick and you don't know what ill is. You better get back, I don't write any filler. I write what I feel and I'm feeling a million, so you better be quiet, you hear it? I'm about to lose it. I'm on a whole different level of music. Don't treat me like I have no clue how to do this. You better rethink what you're thinking and move. Now picture me writing when I was a kid trying to make it in music. I thinking it's crazy. I spend all my money on studio time so they get on my music so people could play it. Keep it 100, my music was terrible. Learn to get better than one that I made. Go back to my Moments album. Most of you people, you probably don't know what I'm saying. Hold up! What you witnessing now? Don't try to figure me out. I grab on that microphone, jump in the crowd, they was laughing at me. Who they laughing at now? Huh? I laugh at myself. Some people, they looking like, wow. The moment you told me that you was a rapper, I couldn't believe it. You believe it now? Step in the booth and I'm murdering. You never heard of a rapper that killer like I do. I sleep on the couch in the studio, stay up to...
Does anybody else need to take a breath? Because clearly he doesn't. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Bro came out the gate swinging. So this was not his first video. Wake Up was his first official video, and then this was his second. Is that right? You said this was Tech his second? I'll make sure I got that right. Yeah, came out swinging is right.
3 in the morning and right till I get more the moment I wake up, I feel like I don't even sleep and I'm ready to put on my record. Well, thank you for buying, maybe you burned it, but either way, I'm gonna wreck it. I look at the industry, look what it did to me, you'll never make it if you never grind. You put a whole lot of money into it, you better be ready to give it your time. I look at the best of years of my life and I promise you I haven't given it mine. Try to keep up with this, I'm not a puppet, no string on my back, I'm one of a kind. Music is changing, no way to tame this. I am an artist, look what I painted. Hang up the caution tape, I'm dangerous. Does anyone know where my brain is? Rappers are comfortable knowing they're famous, but I really don't care what your name is, and I really don't care if I'm nameless. Y'all just driving around, I know what my lane is. Hockey, not competitive, this is a job for me, it's adrenaline. Don't try to box me in, I am Mayweather. Come in the ring, my punches are way better. I never drink, but I live in these bars. The moment you blink is the moment you lost. Say you a king, who put you in charge? Care what you think, I'll break in your car. I'm on top of it, sound the alarm, and wake up the neighborhood rap in your yard. And carry the speakers up under my arm, so you can sleep in on me, I'm at large. Enough with the jokes, I ain't joking, you come in the session with me, I'ma show you what dope is. And when I say dope, I ain't talking about smoking, I'm talking about music that has an emotion. I look at this mic, it's part of my family. Take it away, I'm coming to find you. I've been through a lot of my life and it's hard to get people to listen when no one's behind you. And then Capital came in the picture and gave me a shot. And look at it now, I look at the team I'm dealing with. These people ain't playing around.
Yo, that's badass. The sign right behind him. dead end, no turnaround. I don't think this is an accident. I don't think it was planted there either. I think that was there. Fantastic.
Picture and gave me a shot, and look at it now. I look at the team I'm dealing with. These people ain't playing around. Looking back, I got a lap. I was in a whole different place a year ago. I look at the math, I look at the map, and thank you, God, I swear it's a miracle. And I'm sorry, but I gotta leave. But man, this track was beautiful. The least I can do if I murder a beat is take the time to go to his funeral.
Damn! Whew. Energy. What does NF stand for? Does anybody know? Whew. This is the 101 part of it, where I ask you if you know anything about this. Yeah, wow is right. I do think that all of this part right here is not, I don't think it's, what's the word? Nathan Feuerstein. Oh, there you go. Nathan John Feuerstein, who uses NF as American singer, rapper, songwriter, record producer. Okay. Nathan. NF. Thank you. I think that this was chosen to be the background for this last part. Obviously, the choreography of him going down the street. I'm going to assume this is either his neighborhood or a neighborhood nearby, is my guess. The very little that I do know about NF, most of which is kind of some of the comments that I read from the first two videos that we did, which was, I think it was The Search, and then something else. Leave Me Alone, maybe. He had a rough go. He had a rough upbringing. So this is probably not far from home. And even if it is location-wise, geographically far from home, I'm going to guess that this general vibe is not far from home vibe-wise. You know? So I do think it was very clever how we're going down this street. We are keeping the momentum. We're keeping the energy, which starts off at a friggin' 11. Fantastic. Maintains it through the whole thing, just shy of 3 minutes, and then very strategically uses this house as the backdrop for this final section where we're giving you an opportunity to kind of see things, identify things. I think that sign right there of dead end, don't turn around is probably the main point, but I think this house and kind of the status that it's in is also significant. Now, I could get pretty deep here, and I'm going to, because really, why else are you here except to hear me make stuff up? What I think is interesting about this backdrop, aside from that one sign, is that, and we're not just passing the house. This becomes the backdrop. Let's see when we get here. Because we're here for a little while. Okay, we're at about here at 2 minutes. So the last 35% of this video is in front of this house. We land here, all planned, and then this is the backdrop. Yes, it could just be that sign, but I think it's also interesting that the porch is a good blend of, how do I put this? An attempt to feel at home, an attempt to make a comfortable home, if that makes sense. Obviously, this is not a very wealthy area, but there's still effort to make it feel comfortable, to make it feel at home, at peace. And I think this is something that most of us do anyway. I think it's kind of human nature. Wherever we land, we try to make it as comfortable as possible. I think that's kind of human nature. Yeah, trying to make ends meet while making it home. That's a great way to put it. I think there's something there. I mean, we have the chairs, we have the table that's there. There's some time that's being spent outside. We've got little sunflowers in the window, we've got the wind chimes, but you can see there's kind of trash everywhere too, right? It's very dilapidated. I also don't think it's a coincidence that they filmed this in what appears to be maybe the end of fall or the beginning of winter. Does anybody know where he is from? Okay, he's under Capital CMG label group. Joyce just said. He's from Michigan. He says Eminem is his inspiration, which is very apparent. Absolutely. Absolutely. I could see that. He's from Michigan. Okay. So it's the North. They absolutely have 4 seasons. I am also from the North in New England, so I think laterally we're kind of on the same line. This looks like wintertime. It's gray. It's a slight chill in the air, and I think that's for a good reason. This might be a little bit of a stretch. This feels like B-roll to me. B-roll being kind of a behind the scenes, like they were filming, but it wasn't really part of the video, but it kind of worked. So they put it together and it made the final cut. But that's just a side note. If I had to guess, I would say that he did this thing on his own, even whether in his head or physically on his own, for years growing up. He either walked down this street or he walked down streets like it in his area, and he did this. He went through these pieces of lyrics and stories and keeping that brain moving. And honestly, to me, that is no different. That's like the internal effort of making yourself feel at home when you're kind of surrounded by a tough time. The same way this porch kind of represents, we're trying to make it at home, like with the little bit of resources that we have. I don't know if he has a lot of resources if this is the place that he's growing up. So he's doing his damnedest to homie up his mental porch, you know? That might be a stretch. But I think what's great about this is if this is one of his, I think Haley said it's his second video. This is one of his early videos. This is almost kind of this style of it, even though it's probably necessary because it doesn't have a lot of money and resources to make a video. It's kind of perfect because it's almost full circle to him. If I had to guess, he grows up on the streets, spitting these words and lyrics and doing this type of thing. So to have a video that shows him doing that when that's all he thought about growing up is kind of satisfying. You know, it's like knowing that a celebrity rock star artist stood in their room for years and sang to their dolls and sang to a wall of imagination, only to know that 20 years later they made that dream happen. Something very satisfying about that. This to me feels like a direct display of that. And I love that. It makes a lot of sense to me. Huh. This is interesting. Capital came in the picture and gave me a shot. So this is his second video? This was filmed in Nashville? Really? Huh. Okay. Nashville. Wow, I would not have expected that. He'd been rapping through high school to process through the rough family life he was going through. Always wanted to be a rapper. 2012, he signed with Exist Music. Didn't go well. Left and signed with Capitol in 2014. Really? Okay. I want to put a pin in Wake Up. I don't know if Wake Up is necessarily part of this journey to hope per se, but I do kind of want to see what started it all. Because if that was the piece that made Capitol latch on to him and give him a shot, then we need to see that. Yeah, it's a song that started his career. Okay. So after we get done, or I guess it's actually on the list. Let me see here. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, Wake Up I have as number 3. So we are going to watch that. That's good. And now's a good time to tell you that, and this generally doesn't go for you guys. It's for the comments that come later, but we put this list together based on the comments that were received after I watched, or I guess during the watch of The Search and Leave Me Alone. And this is kind of the collective idea of what this journey was supposed to be. So the videos, as we have them in order, is my understanding, is how it's supposed to go. If that's not true, put it in the comments, and then by then it'll be too late and it won't matter anyway. So it is what it is. Let's see. Wow, so this is a hell of a kickoff. It does a really good job of giving us a master shot of context to who this guy is and at least where he's coming from. Because even if you just look at the symbolism of this, you can see probably the very meager means that he had as an upbringing, at least just the general environment. And it does not go unnoticed that he is, as you said, coming out of the gate swinging, that he's going to work his ass off to get out of this spot and out into the limelight. He's going to do whatever it takes.